Well, it's my honor now to introduce our speaker, Larry Jennings. I think everybody here probably knows Larry. Larry's a guy that we all love. Yeah. And Larry tells me he first started coming here to the fellowship around 2000, 2001, and in 2005 he was inspired to become a minister, so he was ordained. And Larry's the type of guy, when he joins something, he goes into it full force, right? He doesn't do things halfway. He does that with the Masons, which is another organization he loves. And with this church, he just is constantly a person of service. He's the type of guy that whenever any of us have a problem of some type, and we're trying to think of, I just need to talk to somebody, I do this, I'll call Larry, and he helps me sort things out. You know, he's truly one of the rocks of this church. And so Larry, without further ado, come on up.
Woo! Oh, what a welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Today I'm going to be taking a look at our past year and a new year coming. When I look at this past year we've just been through, I think we can all agree it certainly has had its challenges. It has brought us two very different political candidates, both wanting to lead our country, both with very different points of view. We have dealt with unrest. We had left regions of our world in devastation from wars. Hurricanes, floods have destroyed people's homes and businesses. I think we can all agree that last year was a year of challenges. On a personal level, we have lost family members and friends that will no longer be with us, leaving an empty seat at our tables and in this very room. Those that have left us will be remembered and they will be loved. These are the moments that define who we are yesterday, who we are today, and who we are tomorrow. Through the beginning of time, we have had these challenges, and I'm sure there's many more to come. There were for each of us also the good moments, times that simply made us smile, times that we have reached goals that we set for ourselves. And at some point, I know that every person in this room has performed an act of kindness for someone who needed it at that exact moment in time. I am grateful for the past year, and I am thankful to be starting a new year and to see what comes next. As I look back, I will take a moment to look at what I perceive to be the most difficult times for me in the past year, and to pause and to reflect on these. I will reflect on what it has taught me. On its soul level, it's the difficult challenges that bring us to our greatest growth. This past year should be a tool for each of us for learning. And these are some of the tools that I will use to bring understanding. Acceptance. Acceptance is a big step in moving forward. In my Ascended Masters group, we always read together these three statements. The light of God never fails. I live this day in God light. God is in control wherever I am. The harmony of my true being is my ultimate protection. We achieve harmony and understanding when we accept that God is in control of our universe. With our free will, we may not necessarily agree with our Creator's choices, but we must accept the world as She creates it. There are so many things we will not understand, but we must have faith that there is a purpose in everything she does, and we must have the grace to accept. Listen to these familiar words. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This prayer offers us humility to accept whatever our Creator chooses to create. It also gives power to us, the power of acceptance. Another great tool that God has given me is forgiveness. For without forgiveness, it is difficult to move forward. When I consider forgiveness, I pay attention to the triggers that elicit a response from me. When I find that trigger, I stop myself and I try to understand, why is this affecting me? Perhaps my reaction comes from a need to forgive and move on. Understand that forgiveness does not erase the past, but forgiveness allows you to move forward. And trying to understand forgiveness, I looked to Paul Solomon readings to help me. Paul offered this: "Then if you have ridiculed or condemned, ask God not for forgiveness for the same, but ask him from whom you have ridiculed, and replace that ridicule, that condemnation, that judgment with love. And in doing so, so have you overcome." Paul Solomon then states in the last line of this reading, "As it has been written, with what judgment ye judge, you shall be judged." I decided to take his advice and replace that with love. And it now reads, "As it has been written, with what ye love, so you shall be loved." Love is always the key to happiness. Love is the key to who we are. When we are faced with challenges, simply love that experience and grow. Loving every experience can be difficult. I remember, let me pause. I remember sitting at the bedside of two very dear friends this year and praying with them and telling them that it was okay to die. As I prayed, I felt connected to Spirit, and in that moment, I was reassured that this was not the end, but this was a new beginning. In that moment, I further lost my fear of separation and replaced it with acceptance and understanding. Remembering that our souls are a creation of God, He gave each of us unending life and free will to find our own way back to her, even as we are leaving this world and returning home. This beautiful gift of life we are living and the freedom given to us has a purpose. The purpose is simple. Through our Creator, Mother, Father, God gets to experience life itself with all its imperfections as we live our life in oneness, learning from our Creator to be love. I said earlier that the challenges this past year can help shape who we are. Examine your own past and see what no longer serves you and let it go. What do you want to let go of? Yesterday is behind us, so let's celebrate what we want to create for tomorrow. At the end of today's service, I will be on the back deck of our church, and other pastors are welcome to join me. We will offer you an opportunity to write down on a piece of paper what you would like to leave behind this year. Perhaps the name of someone you perceived to be hurtful, or someone you feel you hurt. Perhaps a traumatic event happened in your life that you wish to let go of. Whatever you want to leave behind, write it down and ask God to take away its power over you. As Paul has taught, turn it into love. You can ask for healing, ask for forgiveness, ask for understanding. Then we will burn that paper, and with that simple action, put behind you what no longer serves you. The new year, I'm sure, will bring with it challenges to overcome. For myself, this is the year I will turn 70. Some of you would call me a baby. Others of you will say, oh, he's getting old. But when I look to tomorrow, I understand that there will be new challenges. With these challenges, I get to experience life and make my own choices to find my peace. Edgar Cayce tells us, you cannot find happiness or joy except when you have peace within yourself. What choices will I make in 2025? We all make promises to ourselves of what we would like to do. Lose weight, eat healthy, meditate more often, read a good book. Do these sound familiar? Most of us look ahead at this time of year and make our New Year resolutions. Most of us will soon forget their purpose and return to our old habits. It's what I do. But that's human nature. But don't forget that our thoughts create, and seeds have been planted. This coming year, I'm going to explore some of the world I have not seen or known. My wife and I are planning to travel and explore new places and revisit some places we'd like to see again. Most importantly this year, I am setting my intention to not focus on the past and not focusing on the future. Rather, I want to create for myself the opportunity to simply stay in the moment. Looking back at the past year with all its turmoils and yes, joys, I realized how much I missed by not paying attention to what was happening right now. For example, I attended my granddaughter's softball game in Barco, North Carolina. As I was driving, I was full of hope and that she was going to win these games and their team would play well. They had just won their last tournament. When I arrived there, I found her there with their team, warming up for their first game. When she saw me, she dropped her mitt and she ran to me and wrapped her arms around me and gave me the biggest hug with a huge smile on her face. No words were spoken, and she rejoined her team. Pure joy and love passed between us in that moment, and I was grateful. The thoughts of the upcoming game or its outcome didn't matter anymore. What did matter was that this 12-year-old girl was speaking from her heart. I savored the moment. I can still feel it when I close my eyes and allow that moment to enter my being all over again. These are the moments that I want to remember this coming year. The moments that make me feel. The moments that open my heart to the love of our Creator and the love that this Creator has for us and wants us to experience. As I was putting these words down, I was sitting at the edge of a lake, staying in the moment. I could see and feel the movement of the water. I felt the light breeze cooling me. Even though I was alone in this place, I totally understood that I am never truly alone. There is life all around me. Mother Earth and her nature spirits are always whispering to me. Could hear a squirrel rustling in the fallen leaves, and there is a crow, as usual, announcing his presence. As I enjoyed the beauty of Lake Whitehurst in front of me, a white heron flew by in the distance. Sitting in this place, in this moment, is what is important to me. Who won the elections last month or what my plans are for the coming year do not matter. All that matters is the peace that I feel in this moment. I can choose to have this peace whenever I want to. I can choose to have this peace wherever I may be, even right now during today's services. Always remember, when we have been given the gift of free will, and when we truly understand who we are, we can then comprehend all of this. And we also can comprehend that we have the power to create. Let's talk about that. What would you like to create for yourself? Prosperity, happiness, or perhaps understanding of who you truly are? Each of us bring our own unique experiences. These experiences have spanned hundreds of lifetimes, directed by God, but created by you. If you wish to have peace in your life, be peace. This year, I will take opportunities for myself to create peace. I will take long walks in nature, allowing me to experience the peacefulness that Mother Nature brings to me. As I walk, I often lose myself in the moment. During these times, there are no judgments, no regrets, no worries about the past or the future. In these moments, I am peace. Reflecting these times, I have come to understand that my peace is felt by those around me. It is my hope that I am creating an opportunity for those I touch to feel my peace and make it our own. We are one. It is also about our free will. We get to choose what we want to create. What we wish to create also will bring its challenges. Remember, universal law will bring with it lessons. If we want peace, it can bring some turmoil into your life. It will test you in these moments. When that happens, listen for that still voice from within, whispering to you these words: be at peace, take a deep breath, reset yourself, and create your peace. Peace is just simply an easy example to look at. You can expect challenges on whatever you choose to create. Learn to listen and trust that voice coming from your heart center and reset yourself to whatever you want to experience. The real truth of this is that this coming year will also come to a close. And our soul journey, which has spanned centuries, will continue on. This coming year, I will strive to remember the simple things, where I've come from, remembering and learning from the experiences I have had, honoring my ancestors and understanding the impact that they have had on my life. Honoring past lives, which have been shown to me, such as being a Native American shaman, giving life back to a child, or watching as I left a home in England in the year 1089, leaving behind 2 small daughters and a wife. I boarded a ship and never returned. This family I left would return later in life on my soul's journey, bringing it full circle. In my few visits to the Hall of Records, I have come to understand my soul's purpose with clarity. Now, in this lifetime and this coming year, I want to create opportunities to live in the moment. Living in the moment, taking long walks, talking to the trees and listening to their whispers, being kind to strangers, holding a flower in my hand and gazing at its beauty, and thanking the fairies for creating it. Being in the moment and connecting to Mother, Father, God, who resides in my heart, understanding this is the key to knowing who we truly are. Being a part of this great world we live in, and through our heart center, knowing that we are truly all one. I'd like to leave you today with these lines from our founder, found in the 40 Bihas. God and I will create a new heaven and a new earth together. God has asked me for ideas and how the new heaven and the new earth should be. I am a co-creator with God. Thank you and Happy New Year. Thank you.